Hi, this is Hw6. Today I want to talk about the first question of homework 6. So for the homework 6, for the first question of homework 6, there is a 5 part. So let me figure out one by one. For the first part, they want us to find A so that the above defined is a valued joint density function. So they already give us a function of fxy, and absolutely x is less than 1 and absolutely y is less than 1 also. So we can write out absolutely x less than 1, which is negative 1 to x to 1, and absolutely y is less than 1, which means negative 1 to y to 1. So when we get this part, we can take derivative of the function they already give us to calculate out the A. So derivative to derivative, 1 to minus 1, 1 to minus 1 of 1 plus xy divided by A dx dy. As we know, when we take the derivative of the function which is equal to 1, so when we calculate out the derivative which is equal to 1, we can calculate the A. So let's make A out from derivative. It's easy for us to calculate. Times dx times dy. After that, we can take the derivative of x first, dx first, which is x plus x squared divided by 2 from 1 to negative 1 times y times dy, and which is equal to 1 over a from 1 to negative 1, and it's become 1 plus y times dy. After that, we take the derivative of dy. We can calculate out which is from 1 to 0. So when we put this part into the equation, we can figure out which is 4 divided by a, and this one is equal to 1. So the a is equal to 4. So the first question is calculate out. For the second part, they want us to know our x and y are uncorrelated. So if we want to know the x, y are uncorrelated, we need to get exy unequal ex times ey. So let's figure out it exy and ex and ey. So let me figure out exy first, which is take derivative of 1 to negative 1, 1 to negative 1, x times y, because it's formula, and 1 plus xy. This is a function of fxy. So we can take derivative of this part. We can make 1 over 4 out first, because it's just a number, and x times y times 1 plus we can make it simple. Just turn this into here. We can make it become two derivative parts, x and y times dx times dy, and plus 1 to negative 1, 1 to negative 1, x squared, because x times y times x times y is x squared times y squared times dx dy. When we make like this equation, it's easy for us to take derivative, and 1 over 4 first. After that, take derivative of 2 part of dx. So as we know, when we take derivative of x, which is equal to x squared divided by 2, and it's a odd function, so from 1 to -1, which becomes 0. So we can directly write 0 in here, and plus, as we know, x squared is even function, so from 1 to 1 we can get the result. It's not like this 0, so which is equal to this part. After that, because this one is 0, so the whole part of this part is 0, so we can ignore this part, which is equal to 1 over 4 from 1 to -1, 2 over 3 times y squared times dy. So we just take derivative of this part, and it equal to 1 over 4, 2 over 3 times 2 over 3, which is equal to 1 over 9. So this is a answer for the EXY. So after that, we need to calculate EX, EY separately, because we want to get EX times EY. So let us calculate EX first, which is from 1 to -1, 1 to -1, x times 1 plus xy divided by 4 times dx times dy. Formula same as above. After that, we can make 1 over 4 out first, and take derivative of inside. Which is equal to, because I want to make the calculation easy, we want to use same idea like before, so we can separate it to part. 1 over -1, 1 over -1 x, because x times 1 plus xy, which is become x plus x squared times y. So it's just x times dx times dy plus 1 over 1 to -1, 1 to -1, x squared times y times dx times dy. So after that, we can calculate the first part first, because it's an odd function. So from 1 to -1, which is just equal 0 when we take derivative. So this part is 0 plus, because x squared is even function, we can calculate out the result, which is equal to 2 over 3 times y times dy. As we know, 2 over 3 times y is also an odd function. So if we take derivative of from 1 to -1, it also 0. So 1 over 4 times 0 is 0. So the EX is 0. So when we calculate out EX is 0, we don't need to calculate EY, because EX times EY is 0 also. So we can get EXY unequal EX times EY. This is because EX we already get, which is 1 over 9, but EX times EY just 0. So we can prove X and Y is uncorrelated. Because we for the third part, which is want us to know if x, y are independent or not. Because we already know the x and y is uncorrelated, so from the formula or from lecture note we can know, because x and y are uncorrelated, so x and y are not independent. So this is the third question. For the next one, which found the joint density function of x squared and y squared. So first of all, I want to let z equal x square, w equal y square. After that, we can calculate gxy, which is equal to take derivative of x from z function and take derivative of y from z function and take derivative of x of w function and take derivative of y of w function. This is formula. And just take derivative for this one 2x. Because they don't have y part, so it just directly from 0. And take derivative of w function of y x in this part don't have x, so which is 0, and take derivative of this part, which is 2y. So we can calculate out 2x times 2y minus 0, which is 4xy. So we get the gxy function. Because for this part, we need to calculate the density joint density function. So we need to make the function get some condition for z, which is from 0 to 1, and for w, which is from 0 to 1 also. So we can know g is equal 4 times square z times square w. So we can write out the function density function of xy, density function of zw, which is equal to fxy square z and square w divided by g. It's a formula, which is 4 times square z and square w plus fx, because we need to write out all the situation, which is negative square z, and plus fx square z negative square w, because there is 4 different situations, so we need to write it out one by one. And the last one is negative square z and negative square w divided by 4 times square z times square w. So we can calculate this out, which is equal to 1 over, we can take out all the 4 times square z times square w, which is 4 times square z times square w, and make all other part together, which is we can directly write out this part, so which is 1 plus square z times square w divided by 4 plus 1 minus square z times square w minus 4 divided by 4 plus 1 minus square z times square w divided by 4 plus 1 plus square z times square w divided by 4. And we can make it together. After that, calculate it out, which is equal to 1 over 4 times square z times square w. And there is other situation, which is when z is less than 0, z is bigger than 1, and w is less than 0 and w is bigger than 1, which is just directly equal 0. So there is another situation. So we can write out the function, which is f zw, which is 4 square z square w, 1 divided by 4 square z square w, which is 0 to 1 and 0 to 1 for z and w, and other situation is 0 for otherwise. So this is the fourth part. For the last one, which want us to prove or disprove that x squared and y squared is independent. So to prove if it independent, we need to know density function of fzw is equal density function of z times density function of w, to know if these two function is equal. If it is equal, which means x squared times x squared and y squared are independent. So because we already get the function of density function of fz, so we don't need to calculate it. We just need to calculate a density function of z and a density function of w. So let me calculate density function of z first, which is this one, and we put the function into this part. We can calculate out which is 1 over 2 times square z, and for w it is same idea like the above part. I can directly write out which is equal to 1 divided by 2 times square w. So when we calculate these two functions together, which is equal to 4 square z times square w, 1 over 4 square z times square w. So as we know, it is equal to fzw, of density function of fzw. So we can prove that x squared and y squared is independent.